again, and I know you still have the notes from the original game that we saw happening.
Yes.
I had thought it would have more Knights of Round Table and like some of that old English mythos, the Arthurian legend would have been part of it.
Oh, James, as it turns out, I've just found it.
It's in the DLC?
No, sorry, I found our list, our predictions.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is exciting. Let's do this, because I know the next few minutes of content on this video is just this route of C, so this is going to be a good conversation, right? So, where do we start off with? Right, so, this is going to be great, lads. Check this shit out, right? So, the way we did this was, right, we kind of like took like archetypal, generic, like what the fuck
cliches from the
Evos would be.
Pokemon games.
Precisely. So we did kind of stuff like this. Oh shit. We shouldn't have lost that. Anyway. So let's start off with the starters, shall we? So we decided to go like we kind of all assumed that the
final starters
Evos
would have multi-types.
Yes, because that's where they were going with for a long time. So this is between myself, Mookie, and James, right? Because we were kind of doing this as a little Easter egg in the last Poké Madness round, which we didn't get to. So here's how it went out, right? So James, you thought that Grookey was going to be Grass Rock. You thought that Scorbunny...
he's a drummer.
Yeah, I know. It makes sense, doesn't it? You
thought
that Scorbunny...
made all the sense to me.
It did. You thought Scorbunny was going to be Fire Normal. And you thought that Sobble was going to be Water Ghost. Okay?
Yes.
Mookie thought that Grookey was going to be Grass Ground. Scorbunny was going to be Fire Electric. Scorbunny was going to be Fire Electric. And then Sobble was going to be Water Ice.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I went with kind of the mixture, really. I went with Grass Rock for Grookey, Fire Electric for Scorbunny, and Water Ice for Sobble. Okay?
So you went for the exact same thing as Mookie, and yet you said you were a mix. Yeah, okay.
Well,
you went for rock.
I went for rock instead of ground, basically.
Right, okay.
So, then we have our Route 1 Pokemon, okay? So, just general Pokemon, and then what the actual bird is, okay? So, James, you got this one right for the normal Pokemon. You said it was going to be a squirrel, which it turned out to be.
Nice.
I went for a mole, and Mookie went for a badger, which are not in the game, really. Well, I suppose Zigzagoon is the badger.
Yeah. Okay, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The bird then...
Nobody went for a fox. Like
not
Nickit.
That I can... Well, not that I can see, but we'll kind of get into it a little bit. So, the bird then... your pick was an owl. Mine was a robin, and Mookie was a crow. So Mookie got that one right.
Mm-hmm.
The only person that had a pick for a Pika clone was me. I went for a badger on that one, but we ended up getting a hamster, so we were all wrong on that.
Yeah, all wrong there.
Yes,
that would have been really tough to try to figure out, like what way they'd go, because they don't tend to make the Pika clone region specific.
Yes,
like there's nothing about the den that says France.
That's it, yeah.
Or nothing about Emolga that says New York.
No, this is it. Like, so they weren't thematically like consistent, really.
Or they're not tied to the region's themes.
Yeah, precisely. So, what do we go in? So we kind of gave ourselves a few options for like for new Pokemon. Okay, so we gave ourselves 5 like potential new Pokemon, right? So Mookie went with 2 in particular, which was one was a teapot, and one was like a doily. So like, I guess like a token fairy like cloth, I guess.
So I don't know how much you know of the leaks at this point.
I think they may have been coming out at the time, but they were very unsubstantiated. So
yeah, so the teapot was correct.
Yes. The doily not so much.
So doily not so much, but that kind of makes some thematic sense of like, okay, we're going, if you're going to say that could well be a pre-evolution. Doily into saucer into cup on a saucer.
Yeah, potentially. Like, you could have done the thing where, like, if the two of them were in the same team, they evolved as one Pokemon or something like that.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, your pick, James, you had 4 guesses here, right? You went for like a horse, which is a water. Like you have it kind of stated here, like it's a water typed horse. Not sure why.
So I was going with that is like in some of the English mythology.
Yes.
What's it? I'm trying to think of the name. A Kelpie.
Oh yes.
Is mythological water horse.
Yes, because you had the theme that where like you had like the national animals of like each area. Each area, yes.
So that was my thinking right off the bat. So there would be a Kelpie. There would be what were my other ones there?
You had a fairy, something like Flavaby. You had a unicorn and you had a lion. So like lion was the British like equivalent. Unicorn was a Scottish one.
Yep.
And then fairy would have been ours, really, by all accounts.
I would have thought stag would have been. I would have picked stag, but I don't know.
I think we caught ourselves out of the stag because of Xerneas, because Xerneas was kind of already done.
Yeah. But anyway,
so you weren't right with any of them, really. I don't recall.
No.
Well, Rapidash is a kind of unicorn.
Technically, with Crown Tundra, I kind of had my horse as well.
You got the horse in the end, yes. And if there's any takeaway from this video, that is that James in the end got the horse.
I would call Rapidash as being the unicorn for me.
Yeah, I think that's a fair shout.
I didn't get the lion. I didn't get just a fairy.
Yeah, the fairy that we were thinking of, so we won't count that.
No.
I went for the full 5 here, okay? So I went for like a gas Pokemon, which was like just general pollution. I'm not gonna count Weezing as that because that's it's like a chimney stack, so I don't think it's the same thing.
No, it isn't.
Well, I have a decent record here in this, in fairness. The one I didn't get was a toy soldier, which I thought is a real fucking shame. Like, I imagined it being like a Galarian B-Sharp or something, and it looks like a wooden like toy soldier, and it's like steel. It's still steel fighting, but it just never came to pass.
Great. Look, that could have been fantastic. It could have been like, in the same way Delibird is like a Christmassy themed Pokemon. Would have been like the British Nutcracker. Also, the Queen, the British Queen's soldiers, or the whatever you call the guys with the hats.
The King's Men.
That could have been fantastic.
They should have gone with that. I think that's a wasted opportunity. Not go for a Beefeater.
Oh Jesus, that really is a wasted opportunity.
Yes.
Oh, I'm annoyed they didn't do that now.
Yeah, I know. Like, there is a waste. There's a few that they didn't go for. The one I'm annoyed by is that they never did a Galarian Gramble, and it looks like a British Bulldog.
Yes.
So disappointed with that. Really am. But the ones I actually did get right was the Teapot. I thought that was going to be Ghost Steel, but we ended up just getting a pure Ghost. Because it's actually the Teacup that's haunted. It's the tea that's haunted.
Yeah.
So
the fact that both you and Mookie had a Teapot.
Yes.
Either says he's got your cliches correct, or the leaks influenced you.
I am fairly sure that we. I'm fairly sure you made the predictions before leaks came out, as far as I know. But there's often stuff like mooted anyway for these type of deals, regardless. So.
Oh yeah.
But I got the. by the roundabout way, I both got Yamper and Boltund at the same time. Because one guess I had was a fairy typed Corgi. And then I also got a Greyhound, which is electric type. So I guess Boltund isn't exactly a Greyhound, but he's like the closest, an approximation of it.
Oh yeah. And you got the Corgi, and that was a good shout. Not the typing, but you got the Corgi.
Mm-hmm. So what we went with then is this was. The rest of mine was kind of unfilled. I think the rest of yours, James, didn't really turn out here. But I suppose if I call these out, then you perhaps will chime in with your one. So I thought there were going to be evolutions.
That makes sense, because there was we have a little bit of a holding pattern where new evolutions were added every second gen. You had your Espeon and Umbreon. In 2, you had your Glaceon and Fion in 4, and you had your Sylveon in 6.
Mm-hmm.
So it would make sense to add in another 1 or 2 at this stage.
Yeah. So I thought that because it's Sword and Shield, I thought there was going to be a flying evolution for Sword, and then a steel one for Shield.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Then we had a question here, which was new fossils, and I'm the only one to have ticked yes. I suppose, would you have figured out to be 2 fossils in this game?
There had been 2 fossils in all the previous ones. I don't think anyone could have predicted the monstrosities that were the 4 fossils in this game. Like the
abominations.
Gotta give it to them on creativity. They were creative as hell, but
jeez, but
they
mate.
are. But they are terrible.
Yes.
But yeah, I couldn't say exactly what the fossils would have been, so I didn't want to even hazard a guess.
Well, I went.
I
went with Narwhal and Mammoth for me because they're 2 that haven't actually been really done yet. You know.
Yeah.
So I would have figured Narwhal to be an ice. They were done in a roundabout way. Yeah, like Mammoth One is a mammoth, obviously, and Narwhal is perhaps a dugong. So that's the way I would have gone with it myself, just as like a ballpark thing. Like, well, what ancient creatures haven't been done yet, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the way I would have done it. Curious enough, we didn't think there were going to be mega evolutions, nor did we think there were going to be Galar forms, and nor did we think there were new evolutions for Pokemon, like the Gen 4 type of evolutions, you know?
So we didn't think there was going to be mega evolutions. We had no reason to think there would be because there was no new ones added in 7.
Yes. That does make sense, yeah.
We very much took it that, like, right, they're done and dusted now, short of them, like, being really awkward about adding one in. I couldn't see them adding another one in. In the same way, if they were to put out DLC 3 and, hey, we finally thought of a Flygon Mega Evolution and didn't think of any more, then Flygon would be a sore thumb.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
So it was like either they're going to add in about 5 or so more, or they're not going to implement.
They won't bother at all. Yeah, that's it. So
no, I didn't think they'd not bother at all. I didn't think that would be on the table.
Yeah, that's it. So so moving on then. So we had because when we made up this list at the time, the Meltan and Malmetal thing came about in Pokemon Go. So we had a reason to believe that it had a use in Gen 8, and in the end we thought it was basically like a Mew Legendary. So there was nothing else to it, like, and I suppose like in the end it is, isn't it? Like it's there.
It is, and okay. Here's a question for you then, as someone who has no interest in that series. How do you feel about Melton and Melmetal existing in a form that you're likely never going to get it?
I have pretty much no opinion on it. I could not give a flying shit about it, to be honest.
Okay.
That's it. It's fine. It's just something I'm never going to use. You know, it's there. It's like Jirachi or something. I'm not going to get it. Like, you know, it's there. It exists in the same world I'm playing these games in, but it means nothing to me.
Fair enough.
It's like you telling me, like, what is your like opinion on clogs? It's like, well, I know they exist, but I'll never fucking wear one. You know, there's my opinion on clogs.
Yeah.
Hot take, I know, but you know.
Okay, but I'll say for myself, like, let's say, what's the Gen 4? There was a pair from Gen 4 that were only gettable if you played the Ranger games. That was the Manaphy and Fione.
Yes.
And I don't like them as just because I don't have any concept of how, you know, I don't have any, there's no lore about them.
Yeah.
It's just, hi, here's these things that are impossible to get unless you play an obscure game or a game that's not related to this in any way, shape, or form.
Like they were meant as a tie-in, and like when as legendaries go, they are like the dex fillers of fucking legendaries. You know, they mean nothing else.
Yeah, Yeah.
You know?
No, Melmetal is insane as far as the Go game is concerned. They are like fairly strong, fairly heavily defensive, and they're good legendaries in that sense.
Yeah, no, it's fair enough. Fair enough. So, moving on then to the spreadsheet. So, we asked ourselves, was it going to be a new type in the game? Because we would have had Fairy in Gen 6. I said no to it. What about yourself? Would you have figured there was going to be a new type in this game in Gen 8?
I'd like to say I didn't consider there being a new type, but considering I thought there would be a new evolution, I might have gone either way on it. Like, if there was a new type, there'd definitely be a new evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know what way did I say at the time.
You said no. But I don't have a filled in. But I only have my own filled in on this copy. So.
All right. Okay.
So yeah, I'll ask you these at the time. In the meantime, though, we have reached Silverport town, which is the new location.
Ooh, okay.
And somewhere where some plot kicks in, James. Shockingly.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Back to this we go. So.
Yeah, indeed. We'll check back with the spreadsheet soon, because the fun part's arriving.
So a quick double check on this. Did we level up too much in this? Okay, no gym in this time. That's fine.
No gym, no.
Have to go to Snowbank first.
Yes.
All right.
And that's just telling us about Daikatuna, which we know about already.
Yeah, we've already killed one or two of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just telling us that they're the trademark Pokemon for the ninjas that's around. Yes.
Yes.
So let's have a look around town as we get
yeah.
ourselves healed up there first.
Okay, there's a legendary around if we want to go exploring first.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, like there's yeah.
It's fairly usual so far of like be careful outside. Oh, to mention something about nuclear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nuclear surveillance, that's all. Usual.
Oh yeah.
So.
Right.
So seems like a nice spot. One of those kind of like just boring towns that exists. And this is our hidden power lady.
Hidden power.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever relied on hidden power. All this too gimmicky.
It does have a use in competitive play, and that's only because of coverage. It's just like, here's one that'll beat my nemesis, but whatever. It's I wouldn't be like use it at all.
No. That said, over the last number of gens, they've made it more and more easy to customize your Pokemon.
Yeah.
So that you're not, say, breeding over and over and over again to get what you want. So you're able to give it to perfect IVs if you want. You're able to give it the correct nature that you want, give it the right EVs that you want.
Yes.
And as of this DLC, you can give it the hidden ability as well.
Which is really fucking serious.
Game changer.
Yes.
Absolute game changer, that.
But at the same time, you have to work at it.
Do you think?
Yeah, because you have to or you have to get 200 for one of those capsules, and they're consumable. So,
how many do you get? About 10 pair legendary battle, or how many normally?
I think it's 8 or 9. Depends on who you're facing and what you do with it. I think you get more as a group, 4 players.
Right.
Sorry to know now. Could be wrong. All right. Here's some plot happening. Right. Look.
Yeah. Aiden was talking to us, and
this is Professor Larkspur, who's the evil professor.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of obvious now. He's the Team Rocket music kicked in, James. There's nothing more evil than that.
Yeah. Could just be placeholder music.
True. Yeah. Right. So he's gonna try and bribe us for the PSD.
Could you just sell it to him and that's game over?
Nah, it's not an option. Our hero complex won't let us do it.
Damn it.
So we leave.
Yeah, the door's now locked.
Yes, we just go along our merry way, progressing the rest of the town. As not normal.